Welcome, thank you. Thank you for joining us in this beautiful journey. And from the depth of our hearts, we want to share our wisdom, perspective, and experiences. May this journey inspire you to heal, grow, and evolve, guiding you toward the best version of yourself. Please don't forget to subscribe, make comments. If you want to let us know about any topic that you want us to discuss and talk, we're more than happy to do it. In today's journey, we have Denise, Laly, and Valkyrie. It's a beautiful exploration of the divine channeling that we all experience every day. I hope you enjoy it. I hope. Welcome back to another journey of the Tribe of Love podcast. We're so happy that you're here, and today we have a very unique and special topic dear in our hearts, divine channeling.
Woo.
So with that, we have a beautiful ladies here with me, Denise, Laly, and Valkyrie, and I'm Fab. So let's start. Let's get it rolling.
Let's get started.
So divine channeling, this is something that we talk very often here and everywhere, and we just want to share some stories about divine channeling for each one of us, and then we were going to start going into the topics and just sharing and weaving together.
Perfect.
You want to start since you're our special guest today?
Okay, so my name is Denise. I am an energy healer, and I channel light language energy healings. So it's one of the things that I have really dear in my heart. I feel like it's something that I had always known that was within me. I just didn't know how to bring it out or what exactly it meant. So, yeah.
Can you tell us a story of what was the ultimate divine channeling experience where you say, okay, this is what is happening?
Yeah, so I've been on my path since 2018, and through that journey, it led me to a sacred plant medicine journey. And in that journey, I just felt something come through me. And as it came through me, through my body, I could feel, it was almost like I was having an IV put inside of me. And it was kind of running through my entire body, and I could just feel the warmth, and it just felt different, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is happening? And from there, my shoulders lifted and my hands started doing these movements. Like it was like dancing, like they were dancing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is this? And it took a little bit for me to realize that was it. That was my activation of healing. It wasn't until like the next day when I'm just sitting there trying to integrate and think of everything that happened in that journey, where I was like, wow, wait a minute. I've always been told like I am a healer, and I've had these visions in my dreams about it, but I didn't know how to like connect those dots. And I was like, I think this is it. So I was actually standing in my kitchen in front of my dog, and I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, okay, Spirit, I'm a healer. So if this was it, allow me to bring healing to my dog. And I just closed my eyes, and as I did that, my arms started moving and dancing just like they did in that ceremony. And I was just like, wow. Beautiful. Like I could feel all this energy flowing and coming through my hands, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So then I went to my daughter, and I was like, hey, this is going to sound crazy, but can I try something on you? And so I did it for her. I had her lay down, and I started, and there it went. My hands started dancing and moving and shifting, and I could feel so much energy. And every time I tried this on someone, it was so different. And I can feel different things moving, and like I was clearing, and it was just so beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Muy bien. Lindo.
So what about you, Laly? You have any stories of divine channeling?
I do have a beautiful story, and you remember, you have heard. So when I was 23, I got married to a spiritual guru, and and I went to Thailand, and I lived a year in Thailand. And in Thailand there was a healer, and his name it was a she, but she was channeling a shaman called Japu. And we used to go to Japu for healing and to learn about his healing techniques. And this lady was every day, 365 days of the year, giving healing for free to the community. And she would work as a regular person. She was a mother, and every night she'll come home and she'll cook for her family. And then after her family was done, she will go to the patio, and hundreds of people will come, and she'll heal them for free every night, every night, every night. And she'll channel Japu, and then Japu, it was a shaman who brought a special healing technique, and it was called the Deva language. And she would use Japu's language and the Deva language. She would use the elements, and she'll heal with the tobacco, with the marfil knife, and with the language people for free every day. So when I was in Thailand, Japu initiated me in the Deva language at the time, and I was 23. Now I'm 47. So I used the Deva language for a while, and I was very excited that I had that initiation. But years passed, and everything, changed, and now I'm here in United States, and story happened, and I got divorced, and for a while I wanted to put my spirituality a little bit aside, because I needed to find my spirituality on my own. And so I put anything that I learned and everything that I was using kind of on the side. I just wanted to live a normal life. But which is impossible for me, because
Sounds familiar.
it's not,
Very familiar, yeah.
not possible.
Once you go on that path, there's no going back.
Exactly. So very soon enough, I was like, you know what? It's impossible. My heart pulls me to the spiritual path always, always, always. So thank God I have my friend Fabricio. So Fabricio, a couple years ago, we connected again, and we start to to hang out again, and do our crazy journeys with the spirituality, and we start to experiment and experience more and more shamanism and plant medicine. So when we started to explore more in this spiritual realm, Fab started to play medicine music, and we started to hear more medicine music, and I started to connect more with shamanism again, and then I started to hear this song that I love, and and it's a group, it's a guy from Colombia, which is my country, and he's singing this song, and he start to sing the Deva language, which is the language that I was initiating in Thailand, and I was like, he's Colombian, and he plays medicine music, but he's singing the Deva language that I know, right? And I used to use for healing. So I contact him, and I love the song. And thank you, amor. I contact him, and I was like, hey, where did you learn the Deva language? Like, did you go to Thailand? Did you met Japu? And he's like, no, I just do it intuitive.
Wow.
So he sing the Deva language by intuition, and he's Colombian, and he play medicine music, and I was Colombian who was initiated in the same language, but in Thailand by a shaman. So that to me was a sign, a very emotional and loving moment, because it was a confirmation in my heart of the connection I have with the spirit, with the energy, with shamanism, which is one of the spiritual realms that I love the most. And since then, I reconnect with the Deva language, and I have been using it for healing.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
And I remember the time when that happened, how excited you were that the exterior was like somehow validating your experience, your
Sí,
internal
amor.
experiences,
Correct.
and your
Sí.
doubts about it. So it was
Mhm.
beautiful just to see and to be a witness of.
Sí. Yeah.
Yay.
So yeah,
So you use it for healing, right?
I do, amor. See, you want me to sing it for a little so people
Oh,
can see
yeah.
the.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
see, okay.
I was going to ask about
Yes,
it.
thank you.
That's it.
Wow.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you,
Wow.
amor. Thank you.
I agree.
Wow.
We've been
Well, divine channeling. I was initiated in Taoism when I was in my mid 20s, and I didn't really know what divine channeling was. Like, I remember going to different type of churches just to see, out of curiosity. And I do recall one specific church where the pastors were chanting soul language or light language, right? So they never taught us how to bring it out, and we were not taught but told kind of that the the soul language was only for special people, kind of like you were connecting with God and to the soul realm, and like it was not for public. So then I was like, okay, it sounded really weird, and I was just curious. So moving forward to my mid 20s, I was initiated in Taoism, and I was given 3 gifts. And one of them was the opening of my third eye, and it was really cool. However, I didn't follow the protocol. I didn't do the practices, and I lost my third eye opened. So then, moving forward to my 30s, I found my Tao master teacher, and I found this one book. I didn't really know about Taoism like that much, and this one book taught me how to bring out my soul language. And I just did the practice and the protocol, and I brought it out like right away. And I started practicing for healing, just like the book was instructing. And I was just doing it by myself. Like I didn't, it didn't come to me to contact anybody really. I was just doing my own thing. And then after 1 year, I found a group here in Phoenix that was following the same Tao master. And they taught me more, of course, and that soul language serves to heal others and to heal yourself for any aspect of life. And I have been using it ever since.
Ay, qué lindo.
So, and what I have learned is that there are no rules, basically. There are no
Correct.
rules for healing. It is just your intention, right? As long as you have an open mind and really open your heart. I mean, you don't need any initiation of any kind or any book, because we are all healers and we all have the power to channel, right?
The medicine.
It is just really the practicing. It does take practice and commitment
Sí.
and discipline,
Sí.
right?
Yes.
Definitely.
It is like a muscle. You have to
Yes,
exercise it in order
definitely.
to. And the more you do it, the easier it comes. The channeling, and then
Claro.
with the channeling, you can do the translation into any language, right? What is the message? And that way you connect easier with the spiritual realm.
I
So,
love it.
and well, we all know, well, most of us, and probably all our viewers, most of you guys know that we are channeling at every moment. In Taoism, we are taught that the soul is the boss, and we are always being guided. But we call it channeling because we, in my opinion, we bring this awareness, like, okay, I'm here and I want to connect, or I want to receive this specific message for this specific aspect of my life. And then you do it more consciously and more aware, right? And that's when we call it channeling. But we're channeling all the time. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's Long story short, that is my story.
Muy bien. I love it.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
So okay, just to finish with the stories. My story started like you probably know. I said it many times. When I was really really young, I started to hear a voice here and there. Like it was a specific, unique voice telling me, "Don't do that. Do this. Don't do this. Go here. Don't do that. Read this book." So I started to follow that voice. A little hesitant at the beginning, but then I started to realize that every time I follow the voice, I will feel really good and things will go really well after that. So as the years started to go by, I noticed that I was getting stronger listening to the voice and following the voice, and I was just following the voice wherever it was leading me, even though my family was saying, "You're crazy, you're getting away from our traditions, you're getting away from what's expected of you." And I just like keep going and listening to the voice. So I continue to do that throughout my life all the way. And music is a big part of my life, so that also was part of the voice. Start with music, do music, or do traveling, do climbing mountains, or go here or go there. But music was a big thing that I started to write. And of course you write what you feel, where you are in your life, and eventually every once in a while there's one song that will spark and be on top of the other one that has like a nice beautiful message, and I can tell that's the voice talking or singing or writing through me. So with all these years, it's just so beautiful to see so many CDs, so many songs, and I can see how everything was being interweaved together, and little songs are coming up with different topics of light, love and beauty. And so that was my life, and I continued to do that for years and years. And with finally in my 40s, when I did plant medicine with ayahuasca, the first ceremony was an explosion of all kinds of awareness and insights and unity and love and everything that we know. And at that point is when I was like, oh, that voice is me, that voice is my real self, my higher self, that's me. So after the ceremony I continued to work with different plants for years and years, until the voice started to get like so strong that it's my constant state of mind. So I can say now I don't hear that voice anymore, because it's constantly embedded in what I do, how I think.
You integrate it completely.
So it's a lot of work, because you have to keep working and finding and refining yourself and overcoming fears, traumas and all kinds of things. But when you finally get it, it's beautiful to be in that present that is just you. And so that's pretty much my story about divine channeling. And now I realize, like, even though I was somehow following my voice when I was younger, I would say, and this is something that I would say that is my experience, that the divine channeling, the divine push of the divine is always in us. So it's just manifesting through traumas, beliefs, thoughts and stuff. And it's manifested in a certain way that fulfills a purpose that is transcendent to what we can think or imagine. But it's always there. It's just we need to learn to quiet down a little bit the mind, stay in the heart and listen, and let that be nurtured, and so it can grow and flourish.
Absolutely. Muy bien. Yay. Lindo.
So Denise, coming back to you, what would you say is one of the challenges with channeling? What would you say are the things that you or people that are listening or seeing us could find as challenges to channel our divine voice or our divine being?
It's trusting. It's really trusting that it is something that you are bringing in, that spirit is coming through you, and kind of putting your mind aside, like you said, putting that aside and really trusting that what is happening is all divine. So it even took me a little bit of practice to like realize that, like, oh, like I don't have to just sit here and channel and let spirit do all the work. Like I can direct this as well. Like I can call in certain things for people or for myself, and it will come through. And then just trusting what it is that I'm feeling.
For you, what would you say?
I don't consider it difficult, but I consider that it's important for me to practice, which is, we were talking about this earlier, is focus in the vision more less than the visionary. By saying this is if whatever my spiritual practice is or whatever I am doing, whatever it is if it's channeling, if it's meditating, if it's helping others, if it's journaling, whatever it is, if I put myself in a position where I'm present, I bring myself to my body and I'm present, and I put my intention on focus on the vision, on the purpose instead of the visionary, then everything goes well because there is no about me anymore. When it's not about me anymore, then everything flows beautifully. When it becomes about me, things
Yeah.
get guaco.
Yeah.
You know? So and that I think is to come from the mind to the heart, because it's in the
Yes.
mind when we doubt, it's in the mind when we have vanity, it's in the mind when we think about ourselves. But when we come to the heart, it's not about the visionary anymore, it's about the vision.
Yeah.
So whenever I feel I am focused on the vision, then everything flows beautifully. So my goal is always focus on the vision, not on the visionary.
Okay, beautiful. For you, Valkyrie?
Nice. Again, the question, please.
She's like, I got lost.
I don't remember.
It's
Just
a-
kidding now. Just kidding. What would you say some of the challenges that our viewers or our listeners could be facing when it comes to
To
channeling our
channeling.
divine being, our divine voice?
Right.
In your experience, what
Oh
were
my
you
God.
did?
Well, in my experience, one of the main challenges is trusting myself, just like Denise said, right? Because we're
Yeah.
always doubting, like, who am I to suddenly, oh, I am connected with the divine or whatever, right? So the first step is to really realize and understand that you are divinity, and that
Yes.
you do have the power to connect with all that is, with all souls, with everything and everyone, that there are no limitations. And of course we come in this human form, and we always want something tangible, right?
Yeah.
So, and most of us have heard, like, okay, just ask your guides or whoever you call it, your heavens committee, to give you signs that indeed you are connected, right? And start with something small, a rose or whatever. So what I do is to connect with my dreams more than with
Oh, muy
physical
lindo.
stuff. And that way I know, like, okay, yes, I am connected.
Yeah.
And I don't do what is it, astral
Astral traveling
yeah,
or astral projection when you
astral
yes.
projection. Yes, I don't do that, but I am connected with my dreams, and in that way I receive some messages, and I know that, okay, I am connected for real.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I started to trust myself.
Yeah.
And so one of the practices that I do is called soul communication. Even if you don't trust, just sit for 5 minutes, anytime during the day, just 5 minutes, and connect with a holy being or whoever, right? Or with yourself or with the universe. It doesn't really matter, because we are all the same, right? So you connect with yourself, and you just ask, hey, I am ready, I am ready. And really is to be disciplined, as I mentioned in the beginning, is just discipline. And then one day, all of a sudden, when you are least expecting it, something will come up and you will say, oh, it works, right? Or it's happening for me too.
Yeah.
And now more than ever, when they say that Mother Earth frequency and vibration is shifting, so we have the opportunity now more than ever to connect easier with ourselves, with our own divinity, and really channel
Explore.
whatever we want, right? To just connect easier and faster.
Claro.
Mhm.
Muy
So,
bien.
Yeah, I would say, just to round out, the exterior has a lot of challenges. So your family, your friends, everybody, like we all go through that. That they think you're crazy, you're just doing something that's wrong, and it's really hard to go push through and just really stand for what you are feeling and thinking and experiencing at that moment. But it's something that we should definitely do. And then
Embrace.
also then we have the interior world, the interior landscape, which could be doubts, it could be fears of jumping into the unknown, because sometimes it would tell you, go do that, and
you're like, it's scary.
yeah, but how do you do it? So
Yeah.
it's a balance, and I think that's it. Those are the two areas, our internal and our external, because it's something that we really. But the thing is, like, what I feel it helped me a lot is just to focus on the feeling that I was getting while doing it, or following that voice. So it's a feeling of expansion. It's a feeling of being unique in some way and doing something different against the grain of everybody else. And if everybody would go over there and I was going that way and my voice was saying go the other way, I would just do it, and I would be like, I'm the only one, and I'm being guided to do that. And I was happy with that. I was okay with that, because it was giving me that feeling of being a unique expression of something. So I always look at that way. So it's like, of course, you're going to start being unique in many ways, but we all are unique in many ways. So I think we need to take that to the heart
Some
and just
more than
walk with
others,
it.
That's a fact.
Wow, we all
Seems
very
like-
unique, very unique. I mean, if
I
you
feel like
can-
it's scary
Yeah.
to stand
Yes.
out at times, because if
Yeah.
all your family or all your friends are a certain way, you're like, okay, but okay, yo soy diferente. Like, why am I not fitting into that puzzle piece over there?
But
and
you
then
know what? I used to love that feeling.
Sí.
Because
Yeah.
I was the only one, and I was like the black sheep, and I used to love being the black sheep. I used to
Yeah.
I used to love being
I
the
used to
rebel, the one that is
question.
pushing the
See?
limits.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
used to question, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I don't fit in. Something is just different, and now I'm like, wow, it was always
It
a
was always
blessing. It
that.
was always something beautiful. It just took me a little while to like really see that and embrace it, you know.
I didn't like that feeling either. Like, I was just like, okay, something is wrong with me.
Yeah, because you
Like,
feel
something is wrong.
alone
Yeah,
at
you
some
feel
point, and
alone
it's
at
like,
some
oh,
point. And then until just
Yeah.
a few years back, I'm like, okay, this is who I am. My mom didn't even know that I was practicing anything, or any of member of my family, until just recently. And I'm like, okay, this is what I do.
Claro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I
You
also,
embrace it now.
yeah. And I will also want to highlight these days, these times now, it's so much easier, because I remember like 34 years ago doing what I was doing. I was the only one. And now there's a lot of people exploring different spiritual paths, different ways of healing and channeling and expression of the divine, which is so beautiful, because now there's a lot of communities as well, and you can always find a tribe to explore and just to continue
Yes.
to develop your own self and sharing. And it's beautiful, because now you have that support that I didn't have. I didn't have
Exactly.
circles of men. I didn't have circles of anything. I was just reading and reading and reading and practicing, reading and reading and reading and practicing. And now it's like videos, teachers everywhere, books.
We live in excited
We are doing this.
times,
Listen.
actually, because of that, because we have so much access to information and to people that are on the same frequency that we are. So before, when we feel like we were vibrating in another frequency, we were like just isolated in
Yeah.
a way. But now that is an open door for us, because the good thing about communicate the realm of communication that we have now is that we have access to investigate, access to read, access to find the people that are vibrating in the same realm that we are. So we have community, we have opportunities, we have books, we have people, seminars, videos, as Fab said. So we have access to learn
To
more,
be-
to expand more, to bring more. So
Yes.
it's awesome.
Faster and
To
easier.
find our
That's
people and to
awesome.
feel at home and not feel so different and alone. Now
Yeah,
it's like
very awesome.
the togetherness. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody wants to add something?
I
No.
think we're good.
I think we're getting close to the end, so let's just close it up, just to give something to our listeners and our viewers. 3 little best practices or best cheat sheets or whatever, just to to help people channel their divine being, their soul, their love, whatever. So
Yeah.
what would you say are the three things they can do to enhance that?
So to make it easier,
Yeah,
or
anything.
yeah, just as I said earlier, um, just sit 5 minutes. You don't have to meditate 30 minutes or 1 hour. This is so easy, and it really depends on how much you want it. Like if you really want to do this work, so then you have to do the effort because there is no other way. So and do soul communication, and the main thing that has served me more than ever is to really love myself,
Yep.
like
Yes.
respect my feelings and give myself the time when I am feeling sad, when I am feeling angry, just sit with that. And that is some kind of channeling, because that is going to show you what aspects of your life you need to work on the most.
Claro.
So that's channeling. Your feelings are the main guide in our physical reality, right? That tell us like, hey, Valkyrie, you need to work on this. This is really bad. And yeah, so those two things I would say that they are like,
I think discipline and practice, and the most important thing is to just show up for yourself. Don't forget about that aspect of, like, if that is something that is calling you, do it,
Claro.
and not be afraid to just keep showing up daily for yourself, because that's what's going to keep that momentum going.
Anything else?
Mande?
Anything else?
No.
Laly?
Yeah, what was the question?
What's up with the forgotten questions
don't
today?
I was putting so much attention to
Three
the
tips or three
Oh.
best practices.
I spoke too much now.
Oh, so a tip. I would definitely say first connection with the self before connecting with something else. So the more we know the self, the more we can connect with divinity, because divinity is one, is us. We all one. So the more we connect with ourselves, the more inner work that we do, the more we can channel divinity, because the more we're going to be aware of it. That's it, as you said, my love. It's not that we're actually channeling, we are one. So it's recognizing that, recognizing that within first, and then we can bring it to others, because if we don't have it with us, then what we
Yeah.
can bring? No?
nice.
Work on the self, and then
Yeah, I agree with you. Having time for yourself to
Yeah.
really find that energy, that vibration, that energy that you recognize as the one that is uplifting you, making you push the limits and expand. I think that's really important. So once you find that, go with it. Just walk your walk, and whatever is leading you to do, just do it. And like we hear it all the time. Follow your passion, and I think that brings it down to
Claro.
that. Follow your passion, whatever makes you be higher, makes you feel good, expansive. Just follow that and go with it,
absolutely.
and share it. And,
Yes.
and as long as we all do it, we should be fine.
Muy bien.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, remember the life is a ceremony. Everyone's story is a sacred, and it can be someone else's medicine.
Yes.
We are the tribe of love, and we thank you and you for being here. And we also thank our neighbors that unannouncedly they came in today and they did some noises for us. Divine timing. So with that, until the next one. All the love.
Thank you.